nigga 2 for the dope, these other niggas basic.
Yo, welcome to the Power Play Podcast. We would like to demonstrate the value in the everyday casual conversation. I'm your boy, Mighty Boy the GOAT. I got my brother with me as always, Drop Talk J Lock. And man, we got a very, very special guest in the building, man, Mr. Dondre Anderson, CEO of Symphony Chips. How are you today, fella?
I am doing absolutely fantastic.
Awesome, man.
I'm
Awesome.
glad you're on Power Play.
Yes, sir. And it's a blessing to have you. We appreciate you for joining our platform for sure.
This is definitely going to be a special one. I ran across you on social media and just Googling. I'm big in, and we big on, Black owned businesses and just up and coming businesses. And you just kept popping up. And me and Lamar had that conversation. I said, man, I'm gonna reach out and let's get them on. But let's get into it. What inspired Symphony Potato Chips and how did it first come about?
So what inspired Symphony Chips is actually my dad. So my dad's a retired restaurant chef from Las Vegas, and he actually retired from a famous Las Vegas strip. And I'm hoping both of you been to Vegas at least one time.
Yeah, I've been in Vegas one time.
I'm on my way. Not yet, but I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Classes, you can't be from America and not go to Las Vegas.
I'm gonna make it.
Say New York and LA, but nah. Vegas.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So while he was working on the strip, he created this wonderful spice. And we decided to try and bottle and sell it. And once we got it onto some grocery store shelves, we quickly found out that people don't buy spices they can't taste. So to get people to try our spices, we actually started putting it on potato chips. So we actually went into the store, made homemade chips right there in the store. And of course, when you do a live demo in a grocery store, people come from everywhere. They want to see what's cooking. And so we just, we literally got some coconut oil, fried them, put them right in the on the paper towel, sprinkled the seasoning on there, and handed it. That's all we did. Wasn't no shaking, nothing like that. It was literally just here you go. And they were like, oh my God, these chips are amazing. I said, but we're a spice company. They're like, but what a chips at? But we're a spice company. but what a chips at? I stopped arguing and decided to follow our bliss. And when people from all walks of life say to you the exact same words verbatim, where are the chips? That's God talking.
Yeah.
So we decided to play it safe. And by play it safe, meaning if the people from all walks of life said that, then what would happen if the right person walked up and said, I love these, I want 100,000 bags?
Yeah.
See, most businesses fail because they cannot supply the demand. Now, mind you, I'm not a business major. My background is actually electrical engineering and computer engineering. So there's nothing in my background about business administration, business finance, none of that.
Yeah.
Anything regarding numbers, but no business. So, but the one element I knew about business is, again, most businesses fail because they cannot meet the demand. And so I was just like, well, I live in Atlanta. There is plenty of affluent and, millionaires all around. So what happens if the right person did walk up and say, hey, I want 100,000 bags? So I decided to, instead of continuing to fry them, right, like I was doing in the store, I was like, well, I need to be able to fulfill that order. So what I did was I built out a supply chain. Now it took me, this is like 2014, 2015. So it took me about almost 2 years to find and vet a supply chain.
Wow.
So because back then, manufacturers did not advertise.
Wow.
They barely even had websites. So it was kind of brutal to find them, but I found them and I put them all together for my supply chain. And then we launched from the supply chain Labor Day weekend, 2017.
Wow.
That's how Symphony Chips came about. From there, it's been remarkable because I was able to actually include my daughters, even my son for a little while as well, and I was able to give them positions that no one else would give them, right? So,
Wow.
because what was interesting is that, because it's like dates and times you never forget, right? And I know, like, since both you guys got kids, you remember
Yeah.
dates and times when your kids were born,
Yeah.
Right.
graduated from high school.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all old enough to graduate from college. I'm kidding. I know y'all. It's just those dates and times in your life you never forget. Well,
Yeah.
one of those dates for me happens to be March 14th, 2020. Now, if you remember, March 2020 was right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
So on that particular day, I happened to be on the Zoom call, and very similar to this, where I'm on camera, I'm talking or whatever, and my phone starts buzzing. Like I thought somebody was calling me, right? So I picked it up real quick, and it was like I didn't see no call, I didn't see no text. It must have been just the email, right? Then it starts buzzing crazy, like I'm getting back to back calls, like it's me. So I pick it up again. I'm like, I look at it, and it's like 5 orders. Now, at that time, we might have been getting somewhere between maybe like 20 to maybe 50 orders a month, right? Not really a whole lot, it's just it is what it is. But then it buzzed again and continued to buzz.
Mm.
It was like rattling. I'm like, what in the world? And then I checked it again and I noticed it was like 300 orders from 5 to
Wow.
300. So
Wow.
so I'm supposed to be on camera talking like this, full engaged, right? I'm like this, what's going on? So I check social media and I see that Tabitha Brown posted a video.
Wow.
And I'm watching the video and it's like 5 minutes, right? And she tells her 1 million followers, these chips taste like it must be Jesus in these bags.
Wow.
And her crowd started reacting.
Wow.
Purchasing. And then by the time it took me to find that video and watch it, we was up to 1,000 orders.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not saying
That's a
bags
blessing.
full bags. I mean
Yeah.
orders.
Orders.
Yeah.
12 packs, 9 packs. It's orders.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. So by the end of that night, I think we ended at like 2,500 orders for that day.
Wow.
And
That's a
then
blessing.
every day after that, and this is March, every day after that was 1,000+ orders every single day.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. And now, mind you, I didn't have the infrastructure as far as operationally to handle
I was just about to ask that.
the customer response. Right now, the orders, however, see, I had a supply chain. Remember in the beginning we talked about 100,000 bags, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the supply chain is there. So it's not like we gonna run out of chips. Cause now it's just a phone call to my co-packer, like, hey, you need to run, another order or whatever, production order, and let's get these chips down here to Atlanta so we can fulfill these orders. So now everything's buzzing that way. That wasn't it. It was are these chips dairy free? Are they nut free? Are they somewhere for me? All that. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm prepared for. But I believe in customer service.
Yes, sir.
One of the stigmas I think in this country is Black people are horrible at customer service,
Mhm.
which is crazy to me because we're the only ones really in service a lot of times.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Right.
But
So it makes no sense.
I do understand how sometimes some of us have experienced the person that does this right here at you or whatever.
Mhm.
They could care less. Well, I believe in superior customer service. So I was like, I'm going to answer every email if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. And it just so happens that one night, in this date, I don't remember, but it leads up to a much more important date. I got this email. It was 4:00 in the morning, and I was about to like shut it down for the night. And it was like, it said GMA opportunity. I was like, what is GMA? I was like, good fellas, good.
Trying to figure it out.
Good morning, America.
So I read
Most
that. I was
def-
like, man, I must have fell asleep. I'm drinking. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And my daughter heard me. She came to me. She said, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, read this email. And you tell me what it says. And she read it. She was like, oh my God, Daddy, we're going to be on Good Morning America. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
June 18th, 2020, 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we live on Good Morning America.
That's dope. That's
That's amazing.
amazing.
So, but
That's
then
truly a
mind you,
blessing.
remember, we 1,000 orders a day still.
Yeah. Right.
So the supply chain is getting pressed, but it's working. It's working. I mean, and then after that Good Morning America thing, then it became okay. So now we've had this, big spike, right? Because nobody really teaches you about spikes. There's consistency, then there's spikes, right? Spikes is like when you feel like, oh, I made it. Oh, we good. I can go by my mama house. So not knowing about those spikes and not having anyone to kind of guide me through that particular portion, didn't do it right, didn't handle it right. So now it became this, okay, so now how do we maintain? So that was the next step. But I'll save some of that because I know you got some more questions.
Right.
So-
Get into it, man. Get into it.
So my next question is, where did the name come from? Like, what's the meaning behind symphony? Like, why that name?
So that's easy. My dad believes every bite should be harmonious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He-
That was
Nice.
short and simple.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Yeah.
Well, back in
Pops had-
1849, yeah.
no, Pops had bars for sure. That was a nice one. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Your excitement, it makes me excited. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like when you explaining it, I'm right there with you as you going through the motions early on. Like, it really is exciting, man. I'm truly happy for you. Like, for sure.
I mean, it's like having your baby, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of walking it through life. I'm excited because I get a chance to give my father a legacy.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing here in our country is that most Black men don't have legacies. We leave babies behind,
Yeah.
Right.
we leave bills, but never really legacies. I was very proud and honored to give my father a legacy, and one that can actually pass through me and on to my daughters, that he actually could see it happening, the generation beyond him and then beyond me actually benefiting from his legacy. So
Absolutely.
that's the meaning. That's my why.
Yeah. And that's important. You know what I mean? Because as Black men, we typically take the back seat when it comes to legacy to, you know what I mean, other origins, and it's just it's fulfilling to see another Black brother doing that. So again, I commend you on that. We commend you on that. And you speak on the, handing down from generation to generation. You obviously have your daughters involved. You say your son as well. I mean, for you, what does it mean to have them involved and on the way and on the journey to creating that type of generational wealth?
I call it good nepotism. Because when things were up and buzzing and going, I got a chance to give my daughter a job as a warehouse manager and another one as an operations manager at 16 and 17. See, that's unheard of.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Unheard of. See, they're supposed
Yeah.
to be in, at McDonald's,
yes, sir. Yep.
or doing whatever, or at a grocery store bagging groceries or cashier. But I wanted to give them something that I felt like the world wouldn't give them. And then on top of that, I wanted to demonstrate to them that you don't have to have or wait for somebody to give you permission to do something that you want to do. That's one of the things, because I think a lot of times I feel like, and my generation is very guilty of this, is we believe in college degrees, and once you get a degree, then you have the credentials, which gives you the permission to go after what it is you think you want to do. You don't have to have that. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have those credentials. You just have to have the drive and the opportunity to actually do it. And most of the time when you have the drive, the opportunities make themselves available. So
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to show them that there was truth to that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
absolutely. Because entrepreneurship is not exactly taught in the school system. You know
Not
what I
at all.
mean? As it should be. That should be definitely something that's taught in the school system, especially for the less fortunate that have to make their own way. You know what I mean? So definitely that. But for you, just kind of diving back into your story a little bit, transitioning from, you know what I mean, software engineering. How was that getting into the food industry?
Well, I feel like, at least in my age group or what have you, I feel like you cannot run a successful business without having some kind of IT background. I just feel like
Yeah.
you got to know something. You can't just not know anything. And unfortunately, there's a lot of folks in my age group that know nothing but are running businesses. And I feel like that's dangerous because you need to understand how to automate things, because I feel like automation is one of those key factors. And for me, when I built out my supply chain, I built in automation to it. So that way, hey, when the spices get to a certain level, certain baseline, when the chips get to a certain baseline, when the paper or the bags, the chip bags, which in the printing industry is called impressions or film, right? When that gets down to a certain level, it's time to reorder. And you got to be on top of your baselines, and you need some kind of mechanism in place to remind you to do that, because stuff happens. Life happens, world keeps spinning, or they say life be lifing, and you need to have some things to remind you of what's going on. So that IT component was been very helpful for me. Very extremely helpful.
Absolutely, absolutely. What were some of the financial, let's say, we'll just say financial losses that you experienced earlier on with your background to bring over to the food industry that helped, overcome that?
So one thing about being in software, I was my own venture capitalist, right? Because there's no uncle I can call. Hey, unc, let me get about 100 grand. Give me some breathing room to start this thing off.
Right.
Mind you, I don't know what's gonna happen, but you might not see your money again ever. I just need that to, get started or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't happening. So I use that. I use that trade, if you will. I look at software engineering and architecture, whatever, as a trade. I looked at that as a means to actually have the venture capital I needed to start the company. Because like I said, we started as a spice company at first, which means that hey, I had to, get spice bottles, I had to get labels, I had to get designs done. And those graphic artists will rake you. It is woo. I said rake with a K.
Yeah, with a K.
Yeah,
Emphasis on the K.
yeah, rake. Pronunciation is really
Yeah.
key.
Cancel culture is crazy these days. Rake
Yeah,
with the
rake.
K.
Yes, they rake you over the
That's a
coat and or basically rake your pockets. And
yes, yes.
and it was expensive. I made some very expensive mistakes. Like difference between a plastic bottle and a glass bottle, right? But then so having a co-packer that could fulfill glass versus plastic or plastic versus glass, right? And then depending on the shelf space they give you, depicts which bottles you can use. So there's a lot of variables that go in, but then a lot of times you don't know what shelf space you're gonna get till they give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all this
Yeah.
mix. So it was a lot of expensive mistakes. And so luckily I had that software architecture to afford me those mistakes. But I think one of the biggest things that I kind of morphed into or grew into was once I got the supply chain done, I really, because I'm a spreadsheet fanatic. I mean, I'm so into spreadsheets, I call them sexy. Because numbers are supposed to be sexy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
You're
sure.
supposed to look at your numbers and feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
feel good about your numbers, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be sexy. It's
Yeah.
supposed to make you feel good. So I actually built out a mechanism that would help me figure out how to divvy up my money based on my profit margin. And then also, another key thing I learned also was pricing. See, what I
Mhm.
think is interesting in business courses, because when I didn't know nothing, I started reading. I said, let me look up and say what it says about pricing or whatever. So I read a few books, whatever, and it kept coming back to the same thing about, well, what is your competition doing? You want to be competitive with your competition. See, I don't believe that, because who competes with Rolls Royce? Who competes with Bentley?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, they set their own prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, you can go and buy $1,000 bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
It's at the same liquor store as the $5 bottle of champagne. Both of them champagne, but one of them costs $5. One of them costs over $1,000. So that don't compute. That math don't math. So what I thought about doing was, okay, well, how can I replace my income, and what is the type of lifestyle I want? let me make my pricing around that. So that's how
Gotcha.
I set my prices. And this guy told me this thing, this ideology for pricing. He said, pricing is like a woman's skirt. It should be high enough to attract your attention, but still low enough to cover everything.
That's smart.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna
That's
go with that.
smart.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
smart.
That's definitely something right there.
I've forgotten that. And it's
Yeah,
so,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's
yeah,
because what I've learned also is people will pay for what it is they want. People will pay
yes,
for quality, and it don't matter what the circumstances are. None of that matters. You will buy what you want.
yeah,
Absolutely.
To stop you or deter you from buying what it is you want. So my job is to produce a product that you want again and again and again, and
yeah,
make it available to you.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my job as a product owner.
Yeah. In producing that product, I mean, what were some of the marketing schemes that you had to spark the interest of your customers?
Oh, great question. Great question. Because marketing is a whole nother thing, right? And I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with this one, but I don't care. Piss them
Make
off.
them mad.
So in this country, I believe a lot of people suffer from what I call participation trophy syndrome.
Okay.
You know what that
Dive
means?
into that. Dive into it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty. Now you guys look young enough to remember playing sports when you were younger, and you got a trophy just for showing up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your team probably didn't score 1 point, but you still got the same trophy as the other
Yep.
team that scored 20 points, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You ain't
Yep.
score one, but the other team did. That is participation trophy syndrome, meaning
Gotcha.
the results don't matter. This is what
Mm.
it is when it comes to marketing. For some reason, marketing companies, the majority of them believe that they should not be tied to results. Too many of them have told me, well, we're going to get you this exposure and put you here, put you there. We just need like 40 grand. I said,
Mm.
what do I get for that 40 grand? Well, you're going to get, on these places. I said, but how does that when do I get my money back? They were like, you mean ROI? Yeah. Well, the ROI comes from the exposure. I'm like, no, ROI comes from sales.
Yes.
That's the only place it comes from, sales. They were like, well, we don't have anything to do with that. I'm like, how don't you?
Yeah.
You want me to guarantee you 40 grand and you guarantee me nothing?
Yeah. That's
Right.
crazy.
You want me
Right.
to pay you just for showing up?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, last time I checked, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, when it came time to pay my light bill, I couldn't write on there. I tried to get y'all money.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They need that.
Yeah.
Gas bill, I couldn't write
Yeah.
on it. I'm still working on that. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta-
No, it don't work like that. I can't pay y'all today, but I can take y'all to a few other people that need lights and tell them that, FPL is the way to go. No, it
Yeah.
don't work like that. It don't work
No,
like that.
even when it comes to my product, if my product doesn't taste good, then I can't say to that person, "Oh, you know what? I've really tried to make it right, but it ain't work out. Sure appreciate your money though." No, they're like, no, I want exactly what I paid for. I want to know the money I spent, I'm getting what I paid for. That is the return on investment when it comes to my product. So if my customer is like that, why shouldn't I think like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So me and marketing companies struggle. We struggle
Yeah.
a whole lot because I come back with that ROI question and they normally fall off to the point where I don't even take meetings anymore. I literally say, do you work on a commission basis? No? Okay, well then we don't need to meet.
Right.
You
Right.
could move on because another thing I've noticed or I've learned also, because it's just years of doing this, is I meet a lot of MBAs. And with MBAs say, well, you're taught to keep 10% for marketing. 10% of your revenue should go to marketing. That's their average number. I'm like, okay, so 10% of my revenue, right? So that means from sales. So if I'm just holding money to give to somebody else, isn't that a donation? When you give money and expect in return, isn't that a donation?
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
the word for that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because every time I've paid for something, I've gotten something back.
You got some
Right.
result.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with marketing. So but to answer your question, for me, it was in the beginning, I didn't know who my audience was. So that's how I learned all this stuff about marketing. I kept hiring marketing companies. Hey, I need sales or whatever. Well, we gonna put you here, put you there, and they did. They put me there, but I was not hitting my target market. I didn't know who my target market was at that point in time, nor did I understand how to find them.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Gotcha.
So tens of thousands of dollars later, I figured it out. I figured out that my target market was not the mainstream. My target market happens to be the luxury high-end market.
Gotcha.
People who are looking for quality, people who are, let's say, for example, and it's just me, I'll just use myself as an example. There was a point in my life where I stayed at Holiday Inns. Okay. That was the hotel I could afford.
Yeah.
Or Budget Inn, or Days Inn, or the anything with Inn.
Yeah, you was in. Yeah.
Right. So when I got to the the little market or whatever they had or whatever, it was the same thing that was down the street at the corner store. It was the exact same thing. So that's what I was used to. But then what I noticed is that when I got a little more money, and I could start staying at Marriott's, I could start staying at Hyatt's, I could stay at Crown Plazas, Four Seasons, stuff like that. Funny thing is, them same snacks followed me. That's understand. I was like, hold on. When I was paying $50 a night,
Yeah.
these Cheetos,
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1,000 a night, I see them same Cheetos. Y'all can't do no better than this.
No.
I said, I know how much them Cheetos cost. Y'all killing the profit margin on this. So now
Yeah.
Cheetos is $8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, when you start making more money, I look at it as you're going on vacation. So you in that vacation mode, right? So it's like, we on vacation, get what you want. We going to the market, we gonna buy them $5 chips, or we gonna buy them whatever, that $8 Coca-Cola, whatever. We ain't the number. You know what I'm saying?
$8 Coca-Cola. You must have been at Disney.
Nothing like.
Hey, I'm gonna DoorDash or walk to the gas station. I ain't gonna pay that.
You was
I
at
ain't paying
Disney,
the
man.
$8.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I had to figure out what my target market was. So once I found my target market, then the marketing companies I could utilize narrowed a whole lot, because most of them don't advertise to that market, nor do they actually accept commission. So it narrowed down. But hey, there's AI, and I'm all
Yeah.
T. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's smart.
I ain't never scared.
Absolutely.
Never
Never
scared.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Did you ask a question more about marketing and how I figured out my target market?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to get into the process of, you creating your chips. Are you using regular potatoes? What type of oil? Is it a different type of fryer you got to use? What are some of these things you did when going through this whole process to perfect that chip that you got?
So there's a lot of garbage out there in the market. Here in America, even though there's the FDA, which is supposed to be protecting you from that, right?
Yeah.
And
Nah.
nah.
Yeah.
They fooling us.
Yeah.
So for me, I had to find co-packers who had high standards. So, where, there's gloves, there's cleaning, there's schedules, there's QA, quality assurance, QC, quality control,
Yeah.
all those things that are involved, because you do have some that don't have any of that, and anything goes. So I had to find co-packers that met that certain standard. And then when it came to our spices, because again, I'm not mixing this stuff up in my kitchen. So I have a commercial spice blender involved. So that way, again, that 100,000 bags, right?
Yeah.
So I got the spice blender, who also follows a certain level of quality as well. So that level of quality costs. And then the other part about it is, my chips have to taste the same every single time. And what I've noticed is that once you get into the market, people's seasoning has a tendency to fluctuate.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, this one chip may have no seasoning, the other one got all the seasoning.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I believe gourmet is like a gold standard. It's like you platinum, right?
Right.
And when you're paying that level of you're paying that price, then you should be getting that level of quality. So there's a lot of times I will actually go and oversee the production run, and I will taste it as it comes out. Like, it ain't right yet. Don't bag until it's right.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of times, because the co-packer I use, they're mainstream, so they're used to it could be whatever. Your barbecue, you may not get a barbecue chip to you like 10 chips in, then you
Yeah.
get taste the flavor.
Yeah.
But I for one can't have that. So I will oversee runs at times to make sure that every single chip that goes in every single bag is just right.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Gotcha.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
And that was actually a part of my next question. So that you are very hands on with the chips. So I mean, but dive a little bit deeper into that. Is that more or less like staffing? You know what I mean? Keeping the same staff, like same packing company. Like, how do you consistently make sure, other than the runs that you do, that the chips are going to be up to your standard?
Yeah.
Well, so if I'm working with a co-packer for a few years, then like I have now, then we're at a place where okay, I can take my hands off the wheel now. Because
Gotcha.
now I know it's on cruise control. You know what the settings are. You know what my expectations are. And we're at a place where if it's not right, I don't pay you. Because the people ain't gonna pay me. So they understand that hey, they money on the line. If the order comes in, I'm right there when the truck come into the warehouse. All right, let me get that first bag. Let me
Yeah.
nah.
They going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was one company that grossly overseasoned our order. I was like, what am I gonna do with this? And they had to pay for that. And that's the thing. I make them pay for it. You gotta buy more paper, you gotta buy more spices.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for all that. And
Yeah.
then rerun. That's money out of your pocket that you
Yeah.
do. So this advantageous for them to get it right.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
That's smart.
How did
That's
how did how
smart.
did that happen though? Like, how did they overseason your chips? Like, what was it? Just
So it came upon a time when I was actually asked to be on the View. And so when I was doing that, I couldn't travel for that production run. So because I was there before, I said, "Hey, the settings, can you, make sure that it's right?" "Oh yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem." But then it was wrong. Now,
mm,
mind you, and the thing you probably you don't know about the process because you asked earlier about the potatoes and the oil, is this all automated? So
mm,
the potatoes will come in a tractor trailer container, and they are literally dumped into a big, let's say, a big vat or a big container, right? And a little bit at a time, they'll come through this conveyor belt, and then they're rinsed whole, right? They're rinsed, and then they'll go into a what's called a peeler, which it actually
gotcha.
spins it around till most of the skin comes off of it. And so from there it goes down to another conveyor belt with like about 3 or 4 people that actually look for those potatoes. They have those I think they're called Buckeyes in the middle of them. You've cut the potato before.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
nasty, brown thing in the middle of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they toss that. And then from there the potatoes are sliced, and then they're rinsed again, and they're soaked to get the starch off of them. And then they're on another conveyor belt where they're actually dried, because you can't put wet water into.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who've made French fries at home,
Yeah.
put them up and rinse them and throw them in the grease and wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
You cannot put water.
And it greases. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so they're dried, and then they're fried in what's called a continuous fryer. And so what happens in this continuous fryer, if you've ever made, French fries or potato chips or whatever, when they're done, they float. That's how you know they're done.
Yeah.
There's an arm that just kind of skims the top of the oil and gets all the done chips. They go on another conveyor belt where the oil is kind of drips off of them, and then they go on to what's called seasoners. And a seasoner, this is where it's important, because the seasoners actually have a dial on them that you can actually set. So you can be like, I want 10% coverage, 20% coverage. Seasoner looks like your dryer. You see the tumbler in your dryer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like. That's a seasoner. And
okay.
what happens is the seasoning will fall down into the seasoner, but it'll fall down in like it's like an arm that goes inside of there, and the spices will cascade off of there like this.
Wow.
Right.
Crumbles around it. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when they come out, that's when you start tasting it. Okay, is it right? Okay, it ain't right yet. Okay, well let's let it keep going. But when they come out of the seasoner, they fall onto what's called a scale, and this scale is kind of like a cone shape, like this. That way, they kind of fall to the edges, and on the edges, all the way around this scale, are these little capture things. And what it happens is these things that are on the edge of that little cone shaped scale, they, let's say you're making 1 ounce bags, or let's say 1.5 ounce, right? Well, when enough chips fall down and it reaches 1.5 ounces, it closes. And then the back of it opens,
Yeah.
fall down into a bag. And the bags are actually on a roll, kind of like paper towel.
Yeah.
What happens is, what it does is it actually clamps the bottom of it like this, seals the bottom first, holds it open, and when it reaches 1.5, it closes up the top and it opens on the bottom into the bag, and then the bag seals this way on top, and then you got a bag of chips.
Wow.
Okay.
I need to
Right.
come. I gotta come
Yeah.
see that process. I
Yeah.
would like to come
So-
see that.
So you can see the excitement on my brother Jay's face. He loves chips.
That's
He
my
is a chip
thing.
connoisseur. So like you
I
can see, I can
swear.
see, I'm sitting here watching him like he about to go get a bag right now. Like he about to get up.
When the chips come out of the fryer fresh and it's still warm, woo!
I gotta get that.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
coming. I'm booking a
taking a
flight to
trip.
Atlanta. I'm
Yeah.
coming. I'm coming. I'm coming to Atlanta. I gotta see this. I
Yeah,
gotta
we
see
taking a trip.
So
this.
We
good.
taking a trip.
So good. So good.
Yeah, man.
How did you decide your first flavor, and are there going to be any new flavors in the future?
Okay. So the first flavor we came out with was our original.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that name because at first I wanted to call it aioli, right? Because like, I mean, if you cook, and aioli is the base for a lot of
Yeah.
different things, right? So, but then I changed my mind and said, no, original would be a better name because it'll penetrate the market a lot easier. And it turned out I was right, because when people think about chips, they say, think about an original chip. Oh, I mean that all my life. I know exactly what that tastes like. Well, when they open up our bag and it's our proprietary 28 herb and spice blend, all natural, vegan friendly, no MSG, non-GMO, it's surprising. Oh God, what
Right.
is this?
Right.
Yeah. It ain't plain.
No.
This is crazy. And I get that reaction so much because a lot of people, again, they're just expecting salt and potatoes. And that is an American standard, is salt and potatoes equals original and or plain, right? And so I'm like, nah, ain't nothing plain about our chips. I even had some people say, yeah, I want to order the plain chips. I'm like, you mean the original? Yeah, I said, well, ain't nothing plain about it.
That ain't plain.
Nah.
And so to answer your question, that's the first flavor we came out with. And then I looked at the trends. Like the number 2 best-selling potato chip flavor in this country is barbecue.
Mm.
And so when I tasted the best-selling barbecue chips, I noticed they had one thing in common. They all followed some kind of sauce. But if you're a true barbecue connoisseur, then you're not really looking for the sauce. You're looking for that hickory flavor, that
Yeah.
flavor, that cherry wood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That the pit master put together to construct a
Yes.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sauce should complement that, not
Yeah.
yeah. Old enough to remember barbecue when it was saved by the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That piece of meat was as dry as it
Yeah. You need something without the sauce. That's how you know it's great. That's how you know it's good without the
Yeah.
sauce.
So I got my dad to craft a smoked flavor, and that smoked potato chip captures that smoked flavor of what it's supposed to taste like when it comes off the grill. That flavor. And then the third flavor we dropped was the number 3 best-selling chip flavor in this country. Guess what that is? Just pick a wild guess.
I'm gonna say, and because when you originally said barbecue, I was thinking like maybe salt and vinegar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
best-selling flavor in this country, salt and vinegar. But when I eat salt and vinegar, it always has my lips like burning.
Too much vinegar.
And there's some balsamic on that thing.
Because again, nobody's really paying attention to the delivery of flavor. It's just salt and vinegar. They just do this right here,
Yeah.
pick up the bag and then put it out there. People like, that's good, that's good. Well, if you ain't never had nobody really proportion of flavor correctly, then you're gonna think that's good. So
Yeah.
because we gourmet, we can do salt and vinegar. We had to do one up. So we dropped balsamic.
Yeah. See, that balsamic. Yeah. Yeah.
And people go crazy over that flavor.
Yeah.
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 So that's how we decided on the first three. Then the last one we just dropped is our hibiscus bouquet. And we named it that primarily because of the bouquet the bouquet you smell when you open that bag. If you're a red wine drinker and you smell the bouquet of the red wine, that's what those chips taste like. So
yeah, my wife gonna love these.
kind of
Yeah.
getting in towards that alcohol crowd right there. Again, top shelf, premium brand. We got to follow those types of trends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
dope.
But that's how we look for flavors is, what's high trend and what can we make all natural and still pull off a great flavor.
You spoke about this earlier, but I want to dive a little deeper.
Sure.
You talked about different brands that's competitive. You talked about the competitiveness of this game, this field. What makes you different and stand out compared to the bigger brands like Doritos?
You mean those companies that lays down when it comes to flavor?
Yeah.
I honestly believe there's nobody in our lane. Those companies, they go after the mainstream, and God bless them. That's their market.
Yeah.
So I go after the folks who are looking for a better quality and a better flavor. That's what I'm going after. So for those that don't care what the chips taste like in the bag, there's a company that's great for that. But when you're paying more for an experience or somebody has cultivated some kind of event or something for you, my chips should be there. When you're in first class, my chips should be there. When you fly in private, matter of fact, my chips are there. When you that private suite, my chips are there too. Right.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
those places that you aspire to be in, that everything should change, right? Because I shouldn't see the same things when I walk into a place that's $1,000 a night that I see when I'm paying $50 a night. I shouldn't see the same thing.
Right.
Food shouldn't be the same. I mean, I shouldn't see cheeseburger on the menu. I should see some, deconstructed,
filet mignon. You know what I'm saying?
some chipotle aioli, aired burger, something with some kind of alluring flavor or something. I shouldn't see just cheeseburger. So when you expect better experiences, that's where you'll find our chips. And that's why
100%.
everywhere you expect a better experience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So your brand, y'all have a lot of cultural influence behind it. How important is it to represent the community, the culture through your brand?
Let's talk about that. So when I think of our culture, I got to start separating us out, unfortunately, because when I look at what happened the first part of this year when DEI went away, for example, supplier diversity got locked into that. And now I've always said we're a gourmet company. I don't ever say we're Black owned, power to the people, support Black owned businesses. I don't really say that because if the product is good, you should buy it anyway.
Regardless,
Right.
yeah.
100%.
Who pays for it? And if we're really talking about being the change that we want to see, then I shouldn't care that it's Black owned, Korean owned,
Yeah.
whatever owned. I should care that, hey, I'm getting the quality I want for my money. Because some of us, namely me, I just use myself, work hard for my money.
Definitely do.
What I want to do is go support somebody just because we share a complexion and I ain't getting what I paid for.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm getting all this attitude on top of it. But it's been other establishments for other cultures, but don't get me started.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
So when I think about our culture and the importance of it, I think about I want our businesses to succeed in a way where we can support each other. Those of us who want to succeed at what it is we're passionate about and the things that we want to bring to fruition, right? And most importantly, give opportunities to those of us in our community that do not get them, right? Because the percentage is so high of black males that have criminal records. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know too many black males, at least my age, that have never been arrested. I've been.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's things like that I pay attention to, which is why we have a nonprofit that actually gives scholarships to nonviolent offenders that want to retool themselves in manufacturing vocations. So
Yeah. That's dope.
electrical, plumbing,
Absolutely.
waste management, things like that. Those type of things that are not really going away. Those trades that people don't want to really give opportunities for. I want to help people get those trades, especially our people, the ones that have been disenfranchised.
Yeah.
That's what community building means to me, is giving opportunities to those who normally wouldn't be given those opportunities or given any opportunities. That's what
Right.
I look at it.
Yeah. And that's important. Very important. I mean, we've been so uneducated on entrepreneurship and following dreams, and it seems to be harder to get involved with certain things without the support system and without the belief that you can actually do it. So to even have something in place to teach, skill sets like plumbing and electrical, that's amazing. That's great right there. That's great. That's great. And
Yeah.
Atlanta is such a
Wait, just so we call that Symphony Crumbs.
Symphony.
okay, Symphony Crumbs.
So Symphony
Symphony Crumbs.
because of the brand, but then Crumbs because we're paying homage to the inventor of the potato chip, George Crumbs.
Wow.
Symphony Crumbs. I love it. So in being a black owned business, what are some of the obstacles you faced, being a black owned business?
Supplier diversity. That's an obstacle. A lot of people looked at that as an opportunity to do business, right? But when people are placating you, or as some people say, playing in your face or whatever, you're not forming relationships or forming the ability to do business. You're being fooled. You're being tricked. As Malcolm X said, hoodwinked. That was just smoke and mirrors. It was bull. And I knew it was bull for a long time. And I did not want to get caught up in that, because I knew if the supplier diversity department was real in some of these organizations, now I'll name names like Target, for example, big smoke and mirrors, then they would not just be able to influence, they would have decision-making capabilities. See, it's like in your household, if you make a decision that you're gonna start buying vanilla ice cream, well, let's keep it black. If you're gonna start buying chocolate ice cream instead of, it's a decision that you make, and then you start putting money towards that.
Yeah.
You don't have influence, or you don't come up and say, hey, please, can we please get chocolate this time? It would be nice if we had some chocolate. No, 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 no. You have decision-making capabilities, and that's what they did not have in Target. That's why we don't do business with Target, Walmart,
Yeah.
other companies, because one, we didn't. I could tell that they weren't serious about making changes. They were just, hey, we want to do this because we're told to do it, and we're going to allocate money to do that. See, when you're not making changes and you're allocating
Yeah.
money to do something, you're just saying we'll do this for the time being, but we're not to make a conscious change,
Right.
because
Yeah.
it shouldn't matter the color of my skin. What matters at the end of the day is your bottom line. Because
Yeah.
going back to the earlier point I made, you know who ain't never been racist in this country? The light bill company.
Never.
That's
Never. Them bills ain't never been racist.
when it comes to getting their money, they don't care. So until we start paying attention to what adds to our bottom line, then I feel like that's when true change will come about. So I feel like, one, supply diversity has been a big obstacle, because I want to form real relationships, real partnerships that I can then grow and create real business from. I don't need to be placated. I don't need to be played with. I need to do real business that can be generational, that I can not only pass on to my kids, but then teach my kids how to have relationships, because business really breaks down to relationships.
Absolutely.
people, how you interact with people. And when you come at me and tell me, oh, we want to do this with you, we want to do that with you, and then you BS me,
Yeah.
how you think that's gonna make me feel? You think that when you down and you come back around or whatever, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, we cool. Nah,
Yeah.
we ain't
Yeah.
cool. We ain't cool at all.
Yeah.
Camera. We ain't cool.
At all. Hashtag we ain't cool.
Eyes
So
remember.
Weeze knows what's on the agendas.
So I want to, that was been one of the obstacles. Then entrepreneurial money management, I think, is another thing that was not talked about. Matter of fact, people don't talk about money enough.
No.
Right.
You know what's interesting? I found out I used to work for a bank. I found out that people are more comfortable talking about their sex lives than they are their money.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy. Which is
That is crazy.
People, I think money is a scary subject for people. People they just get tense, they get fidgety. When anything about money being involved, people just, they don't like talking about it.
And
Yeah.
relationships fall apart because most of the time when a relationship falls apart over money, whether it's business, romantic, or whatever, it's because of mismanagement. It's because we're taught to manage money two ways: savings account and checking account. And then maybe you get a little advanced, you'll learn about a money market account or a mutual fund, right? And we feel like those are the only vehicles. But what they don't teach you is about trust,
Mm,
insurance policies, how you can build money up and take loans out when you need them. See, what's cool about a whole life policy, for example, is that there's a cash value attached to it. So let's say you start off like $1,000, okay? And let's say you make a little, you experience one of them spikes in business, right? You get a spike. Now you got 5,000. Well, you can take,
Yeah.
let's say 2,500 of that and put that over in your life insurance policy, right? Now you got $3,500. But then when you need that money, guess what? You don't have to go through a bank to get that money. The insurance company will lend that money back to you. At least, I'm sorry, 80% of it back to you. So when your money does this right here, this is what you do in entrepreneurship. I ain't doing the wave. This is how your
yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
move. This is how it happens. Experience those downward turns. Now you can go and get money that you can get without having to show any revenue. You ain't got to show no bank statements. They will lend you that money. And most people don't talk about this and how you build up, because you can keep building that cash value over time. So as your money goes up, you can throw, hey, I'm gonna throw another 5,000 over there because hey, I'm good because I understand what my operating costs are. So I got excess of $5,000. Let me go throw it over here. So when the money goes down again, now I have a little bit extra that I can borrow against, and I can keep myself afloat until the next spike or until the money comes back around.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about that.
Not at all.
We all
Not
think
at all.
you get money from banks, and banks, if your money's going down, they ain't lending you no money.
Nah.
Because it
No.
was interesting. I took a business course one time. It said, hey, if you start experiencing issues like with payroll, you can go get a loan. You can go get a loan to cover your payroll. You can go get a loan to do this. You get a loan to do that. I'm like, but they said that they ain't giving me no money because I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
It don't make sense to lend you money when you ain't got
You ain't got no money. Yeah. I know I'm gonna get my money back.
Exactly.
And what they don't tell you is about mutual funds and 401ks or whatever, is that when you want to use that money as collateral to get a loan, you're still going through a bank. The bank still has to approve you, even with the collateral.
Crazy.
So
All educational pieces that a lot of people just don't know about. And again, like going back to when you say, people, money is a touchy subject, it's because of the standard that we feel that we have to have a certain amount of money in order to be able to talk about money. And that's not always the case. Education comes in all different forms and all different values. So, I mean, we just got to be open-minded, you know what I mean? And wake up a little bit and be open-minded. For real, that's my opinion on it.
it's like I believe in planning, right? You don't have to have money to plan out what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, this is the structure I'm gonna put in place, and if money comes, this is how I'm gonna build it. And if stuff goes away, then I know how to bring stuff down or whatever. I know how to maneuver. So unless somebody shows you this structure and how to build it up, so that way you can stay at a certain level, then you'll always be pulling money out, pulling stuff down or whatever. Because even when you have a 9-to-5 job, I don't think past 1980, I want to say, maybe even as high as maybe 95, maybe. People don't stay at companies 30 years no more. I think the most longevity you might have might be 5 years, maybe 3 to 5 tops. Okay, when you leave that job, guess what happens to your income?
Go down. Yep.
So
Straight down.
have things in place, and I'd say savings accounts ain't good because one, banks don't pay interest on them. Two, once you spend the capital, it's gone. You can say, I'm gonna be disciplined and I'm gonna save that money back up. No. I'd much rather have a mechanism in place I can borrow against, and I don't have to make monthly payments to. See, the thing with a cash value life insurance policy, you make annual payments, not monthly payments.
Mm.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Come up with that money, because when you get a bank loan on the first, guess what happens on the next first?
They want that.
Pay it back. Yep.
They want that.
No, you actually make annual payments on life insurance policy, on cash values. So that's one of the vehicles you need when you're running a business. You need something to pour into so you can pull out of.
Got you. Makes sense to me.
I want to talk about the local support. Did you have any local stores or events or word of mouth or anybody that was just supporting you during your come up that played into your growth?
You mean that wasn't BSing me?
Yeah, that wasn't BSing you. That wasn't BSing you. I want the real support.
There's a couple of companies so far that have been consistent. One of them is a Southern company, has a PGA golf tournament they do every year. So they've been really consistent locally.
Wow.
And then also, which actually was crazy, because that ended up parlaying us to be the official chip of the Masters for like 2 years.
Wow. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then also there's another event here in town called The Race.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been supporters of us for at least, I think it's going on our 3rd or 4th year now. So, that's really, really good. As far as stores goes, we have not found the right distributor yet. And well, that's one part. The second part is the right store. Yeah, we haven't found the right store yet to present our chips in that doesn't buy on consignment. Stores, they want to purchase your product on consignment where it just sits there, but then they want to charge you all this money to advertise in these stores. Like, well, hold on, I gotta assume all the risk. You ain't doing nothing. Well, I don't need.
Yeah.
And delivery is so good in this country right now. I can deliver my chips to people's doors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the convenience stores and the other stores like, I don't need you.
And before you get into it, Mighty Boy, because he just touched on something that I was going to ask later on, but you just spoke about, the bigger distributors and you independent. So would you say it's best for you right now to stay independent because of how good things have been going compared to signing with a big distributor?
So let's talk about what distribution is, because this is something I didn't realize until I got into it. So distributors are not stores. Their job is to move your product from the warehouse to the actual event or store, location, cafe, or wherever it's supposed to be going. That's all that they actually do. Now, what I have learned is that when it comes to distributors, at least the larger ones, when it comes to sales, they don't sell.
Okay.
See,
okay.
The dysfunction a lot of times in these bigger companies is that there's no pathway to success. One of the things I noticed, because there was a big distributor I was working with for a while called KHE, for example, and KHE had a supplier diversity initiative, right? And so I asked them the category, but I said, okay, so you got a supplier diversity initiative. I said, and what does that do exactly? Well, we have a special place in our catalog where people order products. They can see our supplier diversity supplier diversity category.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so don't your customers have supplier diversity initiatives also? Well, yeah, some of them do. Well, why don't you just link it together.
Yeah.
It's save a step. If they're looking for, certain products from certain vendors, why not just make the connection? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not creating pathways to success. Meaning, hey, if you have customers that are looking for, in my case, better for you products, or just healthier options, it should be an easy sale. But most of these account managers in these distribution companies, they don't sell. They're status quo. Hey, as long as I move the same amount of volume I moved last month, then that's fine. Yeah, we really want change. We really want to do this. No, I'm gonna keep bringing you the same thing
Yeah.
because
Uh,
I want to make sure that my numbers don't change or move. I'm not going to risk anything. And that's
mm,
why smaller distributors are starting to come up, because they're listening to their customers. Just like me. I listen to my customer. When my customers, he and she both said, hey, the spices are cool, but where can we get these chips?
Mhm.
mm,
I paid attention. And therefore, I experienced the success that I had when I paid attention.
Yeah.
Definitely, business people don't listen to customers. They watch numbers. And how can I
Yeah.
the same numbers I had before? Never mind the value I bring to the customer, which unfortunately, we are creatures of habit. And you'll even though you'll get a bad bag or a bad product one time, you'll be like, yeah, but that's my favorite, so I'm gonna go back and buy that again. But I really would like to try something different. But my favorite, or what I'm used to, is there.
Yeah.
right. Right.
Yeah.
But again, that's why we got so many new restaurants coming up, right? Because again, people are looking for different. I mean, once upon a time, I think going out was just Red Lobster. That was the best thing.
Yeah.
I
Lobster
mean, that was it.
garden. That was it. But
Yeah,
now
that
you
was
get
it.
serious, or we'll call them more affluent, seafood places,
Yeah.
in places or whatever, because people's palates have changed. They want better.
Yeah.
And you don't give the people what they want, then you lose.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, while I do have agreements with larger distributors, my product don't move a lot through them most of the time if they're not selling. See, if they were really meeting their customers' needs, they'd be flying. But
Yeah.
they don't say that's got to be the easiest job in the world.
Yeah.
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 Participation trophies.
Participation trophy. Said it earlier. Said it again. So
How can I maintain the status quo?
Yeah.
right. Right. And the switch gears a little bit, Dondre. What are some of your favorite things about being an entrepreneur and a black business owner?
My time. I get to manage my time and decide what I'm going to spend time on, and it's incredible. One of the things that I've adopted into my mindset is crafting. So
Mm-hmm.
like I have craft chips. So these are crafted flavors, and I like to craft the things that I create. And it's wonderful because when you take the word work out of your vernacular, it takes away the weight. When you say I got to go to work, or I got to go work on something, it has all this overhead that comes with it. The stress kind of just naturally pours down, right? But when you say you're going to go craft something or create something, a lot of that negative connotation doesn't come along with that word, at least for me. So I believe it's the self-talk you have with yourself. I get time to have that self-talk. I get time to meditate. I get time to plan. I get time to set goals. I get time to manage it the way that I feel would best make me more productive, which makes me a better person, which makes me a better husband, better father, which are the relationships that are way more important to me than money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, as far as being a black male, there's times, you know what? When I travel outside this country, or when I have traveled outside this country, it was nice to not be black. It was nice to
Mm.
go to countries that everybody looked like me, and there wasn't a black or a white.
Mm-hmm.
There was just you. You was just being a human being. And as long as because most of the time I couldn't speak the language, the longer I
Yeah.
could talk, they didn't know. And that was great. It was great to be able to walk around and be a human being and not be a black man.
Yeah.
Because while our ancestors fought for rights and things of that nature to have a voice in this country, I still think the biggest separator isn't necessarily race. A lot of times, it's class, it's revenue, it's money you make. That's one of the biggest separations. Even in the Black community, we treat each other differently based upon the money we have. It used to be the color of your skin. Now that's gone out the door. Now it's more so how much money you have. So to answer your question, being a Black man, I think it's more important to be a man of character, a man of integrity than it is to be Black.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me.
That's dope.
Makes sense to me.
So I got 2 more questions for you.
Come on with
All
it.
right. So my first one, and it's just, if it's one celebrity out there that you could do a crossover with and let them choose a flavor, who would it be and why? And it could be, your favorite actor, actress, artist. It could be whatever, business person, whatever. But who would it be and why?
I've thought about this for a while, and I still have not really landed on like one, but one that kind of stands out to me a lot is Shaq.
Big Diesel.
You're gonna need a big bag with Shaq.
Because Shaq crosses over into different markets, right? So
Yeah.
he can be mainstream, but then he can also be luxury as well.
Yeah.
And so because he can cross over into those 2 different markets, I like that about Shaq.
Yeah, that's smart.
And he has a lot of integrity. He also has a lot of things that he does that he doesn't even want credit for. Some people
Right.
report some of the stuff that he's done. And I actually admire that. So Shaq would definitely be one. I mean, as far as now, I have not found a female like celebrity that I really kind of gravitate towards that I feel like has that same kind of crossover. But I really haven't put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them. I mean, there's
Yeah.
like Rihanna, might be a good one, a good singer, whatever. Mariah might be another one. And of course, well, no, that's not female. That as far as celebrity entertainer, but actress, there's one actress, I cannot say her name. She played, this. I don't know if you guys have seen the new movie that just came out, new Spike Lee movie, Highest to Lowest.
No, I ain't see it, but I want to
I've
watch
been
it.
meaning to see it.
I can't
been
wait to see that. Yeah.
I saw it, and she actually played Denzel's wife in that movie.
I seen the commercial, and I know the lady you talk about. Yes.
So she also played
Can't call her name.
for the Godfather of Harlem,
Yeah.
opposite of Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
She's not. I think she's Nigerian. She has a Nigerian first name. It's like these letters that I've struggled with.
Yeah.
But yeah, she might be one. But just the person that accentuates class and it can cross over from extreme to luxury, whatever, and just has integrity about themselves.
Yeah.
Is a celebrity in my eyes. It ain't necessarily got to be somebody that's everywhere. Just somebody that
stands for something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. And my last question, then we got a couple segments, and we're gonna let you get out of here. It's been a great episode, but
it's only been 10 minutes.
Definitely feel like it because it's definitely been a great. We've been enjoying ourselves, so it's definitely feel like 10 minutes. But my next question for you is, what advice would you give someone that want to jump in this field to start their own brand of potato chips?
Potato chips or just entrepreneurship?
It could be entrepreneurship.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Well, I mean, I would say, for me, one, you gotta believe in yourself. That's number one. And when I say believe in yourself, you gotta believe in what it is you're doing, what you bring to market, because you got to sell what it is that you're bringing.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, you have to believe in it, because people buy your story or buy what you tell them, and then the product has to deliver on that, right? Or product and or service. So that's what I mean when I say believing in yourself. But then also know who you want to go after. Know your target market. Because some people get me. I got sons say, "Dope man, everybody gonna buy it. Everybody gonna buy it." Yeah, everybody's not gonna buy it. Everybody's not going to buy it. And then more importantly, everybody's not going to buy it consistently.
Yeah.
Your bills come consistently. I can't stress this enough. Your bills come consistently.
Yes.
Your money comes irregularly.
Yeah.
Some people say a lot of times you can always control your output, but you can never control your income.
Yeah.
So if you understand that strategy kind of going in, then it makes you kind of hone in on these are the type of people that's going to buy my product because I've sold it to them consistently. Every time I bring this up to this group of people, they always want it. Well, that's your target market. And how you market to them is do what I did. How I learned how to sell spices, I went into the grocery store.
Mm.
But then I went to the grocery store that would sell my specialty spice. I went to Whole Foods. I went to the fresh market.
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
the places that sold specialty foods, and I did what? I followed people in the spice aisle. I said,
Yeah.
I want to see how you buy spices.
Yeah.
Right.
People would look at it and be like, huh, because the packaging looked good. I'm like, okay,
Eh,
cool.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Look, I can do that. But these are things that you have to be willing to fail at.
Yeah.
I use that word strong because we're taught in this country, if you fail, that's it. You stupid. You ain't
Yeah.
nothing. You know, your life is over. Go slit your wrists. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
that's not
It's
true.
reversed.
You want to fail because through failure, you learn. You
Yes.
learn and you learn quickly. It costs you money, but more importantly, it costs you time. And you
Yeah.
learn how to manage your time better because you want to do the things that bring you the results you want and the success that continues to fuel you. Because for me, yeah, you know, the chip sales are cool, but what really brings it home for me is when I have that platter of samples, right? And I say, hey, we have gourmet chips. And people are like, gourmet chips? Yeah, try our original flavor. And they be like,
Yeah.
I've been here all my life. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
See,
It's different.
for me,
Yeah.
one thing about my family, about my dad being a chef, you know, when you have a good plate of food, it changes your whole day.
Yes.
You know, you could have had the worst day or one of the worst days of your life. You get a whiff of something magnificent, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
where them biscuits coming from? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And when you get some good food, it can change your entire attitude. So
Definitely right.
if you want to start a chip business or whatever your product or service is, do the thing that's going to bring that level of joy to somebody's life. You know, do a needs base. You know, like
Yeah.
if you need a healthier option when it comes to chips. You need that. You should
Yeah.
that nasty stuff with all the preservatives in there, stuff you
Yeah.
can't even pronounce. Stuff on the back of the bags don't even have words on them or it's color. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Of Doritos, like turn it over and look at them,
Yeah.
them colors on the back.
Yeah.
Those-
Yeah.
That's it. Colors and
Yeah.
calories.
There's no
350.
way to tell you what the little colors mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying yeah, people steady swimming in their mouth. So I say give them something that makes them feel good about what they purchased, feel good about you, and you in turn will feel good about what it is you're bringing to market and the influence you're leaving on the world. So do those things, you'll experience a level of success money can't buy.
Absolutely.
So look, hey fathers, money can't buy the feeling you get when they say, "Daddy."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
can't buy that.
Can't buy it at all.
Yeah.
Can't buy it at all.
Can't buy that.
Words well spoken. Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, we want to get into a few segments with you, Mr. Dondre, man. And the first one we got is called Press Play. Our Press Play segment is a segment that we dedicate to a song and or artist that is, hot right now, that you like right now. So who are you pressing play on?
And I also want to throw this in there because you just mentioned that new movie. And if you don't really listen to music, you can also say a movie, actor, or whatever, like whatever you into.
No. What's crazy is that I just listened to the new album by Clips,
Mm.
Okay. All right.
and before I knew it, I listened to the whole album. I'm like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that because
Yeah.
I'm really into lyrics, so I enjoy when they got something to say.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely press and play on that, and I will even go see Highest to Lowest again because
Okay.
and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I like the dilemma that was prevalent in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big dilemma that was like, ooh, what would you do?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once you make that decision, then what would you do next?
Yeah.
So you remember that question when you see the movie, you be like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
We gotta see that.
definitely.
We gotta lock in. We gotta go watch
I'm
that.
going to see. Yeah, I'm going to see it.
Press and play on the clears. Malice, Pusha T. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So our next segment is the power play segment. In this segment, we like to shed light on businesses or, entrepreneurship. I'm switching it up a little bit today because we got one of the best entrepreneurs here with Symphony Chips. So we love black owned businesses. And today we want to represent not only Symphony Chips, but Harmonic Chips as well. With Quanyata Benson, with flavors that include sea salt, dill pickle, amongst others. Harmonic Chips is dedicated to creating delicious flavors that welcome happy memories. So we definitely want to recognize her for our power play today.
Absolutely. Sea salt, dip pickle, honey jalapeno, and rosemary.
Absolutely. Our next one is called Empowerment Segment. And in our empowerment segment, we like to create a safe space. We would like to uplift, motivate, empower, and inspire. So could you please leave our guests with some empowering words?
I would say, I think one of the best gifts I think I've ever been given, or the opportunity to give, besides the legacy for my father, was actually starting the nonprofit. When we gave out our first scholarship, and I touched that young man, because to have his student loans, taken care of, right? That was a a portion of it. We didn't pay it all, just a portion of it. I think that really touched him in a way, because he was like, it's good to, when people tell you they care about you and they want to be there for you is one thing, but when people really show up for you, I think it's something else. And I say, show up for people. Do the things that you want people to, or you want do the things you want to see present in your community. Because I really believe that in order to erect change in our lives, we should start being that change. We really have to get into doing that. And I can't think of a better way or a better time to do it than right now. Be the change you want to see. You want to see different things in your community, bring it about. Don't just complain about, well, we live in the hood, so ain't nothing over here. Then open the over here. Open the what's missing. Because convenience is what most people want. I mean, if I lived in a hood and I had to go drive, 20 minutes near the grocery store, I'd be upset. But if I can go to, Demetrius's food and shop and get everything I need, I ain't gotta drive out of the hood, because the problem is our money doesn't stay in our communities. Our money leaves. As they say, it's like 6 minutes, because when we get our check, we direct it, our car note, our insurance, all the things that don't support our communities, we pay into, but we don't pay back into the communities in which we live. And to me, it starts by creating opportunities for people in our communities. That's where I feel like it starts. So empowering starts from doing the thing that you want to see different in your life. Do that thing. Make one step towards that every day. I'm not saying, hey, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna find you a rich uncle, an investor, give you 100 grand, you can go do whatever. No, sometimes it just takes taking the first step and then letting God do the rest. Because God takes care of the how. It's our responsibility to figure out the what.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Beautifully spoken for sure. Got one more for you. I want to check in with you on your mental health. And we like to do it in stages. 3 being, I'm wonderful, I'm great. I hope we ain't there.
You about to make put my badge on.
Listen. We definitely gotta have this. So 3 being, I'm wonderful, I'm great, everything's lovely. 2 being, I'm all right, I'm good. And 1 being is concerning.
You all need some more options, because there's got to be something for this stuff up bananas out there for that. It fluctuates, right? Because some parts of the day is cool, some parts of the day is discouraging, and some parts of the day is encouraging, right? So it's that's why I say it's a little all over the place. It's remembering not only my why, But then going back to that word I like to come back to, at least my self-talk, is that crafting. What am I crafting today? What do I get a chance to build today? And it's staying in that state of mind. So when the other stuff starts to come in and the rain starts to pour down, it that's what holds me. Because you need a I feel like you need a mantra or an affirmation or something to hold you, because life pulls you. You know what I'm saying? You don't even be expecting it. We all get this, right?
Yes.
So you can't be, oh, I'm great. That ain't really the whole truth. The whole truth is I'm allowing myself to be present in the moments so I can experience the moments that are not only legendary, but changatory and transformative. But I have to be present in those moments. And by present, I mean that I'm mentally and physically available to what's happening. So I can avail in that in those moments, right? Because it's life is a series of moments. And it's several moments some of us never want to go back to, but then there's those moments we wish we could replay. Man, if I could do that again, hey, woo, same thing. But this time I do this here. And those are the things I feel like, and I'll say this as a man, right? Because I feel like as men, we're not given a lot of time space to be vulnerable and space to express our feelings in such a way where we're not looked upon as, well, you a sissy, or man, you acting like a woman or whatever. But I believe that there's power in vulnerability. And when you're present in moments, you are vulnerable emotionally and spiritually in these moments that craft the outcomes that you want to see, but you have to be present. And that in itself, sometimes people would define as crazy. You crazy for thinking that you can be spiritually available. You're crazy if you think that you can be vulnerable and find power in that, because it's through vulnerability you really uncover who your support system really is. People shy away from you when you're going through something. How many times you've been going through something in your life and people step away? Hey,
Yeah.
I can't do that, you dog. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Those are the people you don't want in your life. But those that lean in when you being leaned on are the ones that you want to bring with you. And that's your tribe. That's your community. That's what you want. But if you're not willing to be vulnerable, you'll never discover who those people are and who those entities are. Because at some point you'll begin to recognize the spiritual beings in people, not just how they appear, but the spirit that lives within them. And you'll be able to see who you dealing with ahead of time. That's how some people say, I can read people. I can read your spirit, your energy, your vibe. And I don't need that in my life, or I need more of that because that feeds me spiritually. When you talk about empowering, it's also uplifting and inspiring, because you want people around you that inspire you to want to be better, and not just better is in success, but who you want to be, because we show up differently at different times in our lives.
Yes.
We want to be, we say these things like integrity and greatness, things like that, but we ain't always great. We don't always move in integrity at times, and we don't always do the right thing. But if you have the right people around you that help put you in situations that better you, not detract you and not distract you, but better you,
Yeah.
then those are the types of situations that people you want to involve and evolve around.
Absolutely.
That was powerful.
Very well spoken, for sure. Man, it's been a pleasure to have you on the platform,
Yeah,
Mr.
one of
Dondre.
one.
Definitely one of those ones that was one of the best mental health breakdown answers to the question that we received on this platform, minus the gunshot wound. You know what I mean? You had us a little worried, but listen, we appreciate you.
You gotta be out of your mind.
Yeah.
You gotta get this. I mean,
I hear it.
Off of what you expect or what you believe you should be at in life, when you come down from that, some people can't handle that. They risk, they blow their brains out. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here because
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm supposed to be here and doing these things. But if your inventory doesn't expose the success or level of success that you're supposed to be crafting, if it's not in here, it can't.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Sure. Well, we definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. We gotta have you back, man.
Thanks.
We gotta do this in person. We gotta come live to Atlanta and have the whole symphony chip, all
I'm
the
trying.
brands, everything laid
I'm
out.
trying to come to the factory. I'm trying to see how the chips made. I want to see
Listen.
live in action.
Before I let you go,
Yeah.
Jay loves heat, spice, anything that's hot, right? So he loves hot chips. I need from you, if you don't do anything else for me after this episode, create a hot chip challenge specifically for this guy, so I can be there and see him take. Because he say he can take any type of hot chip. It don't matter. Any hot chip, he can take it.
No,
So
no.
we gotta put something in place, Dondre. We gotta put something in place. We gotta put something in place.
Jay, don't even set yourself up for that kind of failure. See, you can go right down the street to that Indian restaurant and tell them you want them hot, was it pate or pacate? Yeah, tell them you want that hot.
I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go down there and see. I'm gonna go down there and see what they talking about.
They ask you to pay your check first. Just go.
Yeah. and sign this waiver.
I'm gonna definitely go check them out.
Yeah.
You don't want that? Everybody got a breakdown.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
we gonna see. I definitely gotta try it out. We gonna see.
So well, listen, man, this has been the Power Play Podcast. I'm your boy, Mighty What a Goat. I got my brother with me as always, Drop Top J Lock, and we just rocked with SymphonyChipsCEO, Dondre Anderson.
Dondre Anderson.
Yes. It has been a pleasure, guys. I'm looking forward to next time. Come on to Atlanta. You want to do it? We can do it.
Let's do it. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Power Play Podcast on the Power Play channel. But please, before y'all proceed, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe,
And make that bell ding. Ring that bell.